Hi guys, welcome to my shop for another turning tip. Today this is going to be an experiment. I've heard that crepe myrtle might be nice to turn, and a fellow in my men's group at church said he had a big crepe myrtle, and it was a big one. This is actually a crotch piece that I could make a couple of bowls out of, and this is pretty good size for a couple of small bowls. So let's see what it looks like. Stay tuned. These two pieces have some very nice figure because of the pith through the crotch, two crotches. So to capture that, if we made the bowl with this being the opening, we'd cut through it and wouldn't be able to see it. So we want this to lay up inside the bowl. So this is going to be the top of the bowl. I used my bowl template, 6 inches in this case, with a little small awl to hold it to cut this out. For one this size, this wasn't really necessary. I could have cut it round on the lathe, but I've got a nice bandsaw, and it's pretty easy to quick, and it does make it a little easier to turn with it round. Okay, I transferred this feather line here so I could get it centered. Put the circle on it to do that center point. I'm simply going to use a two spur drive center going with the grain so it'll cut into it, and just tap it in place a little bit. And now all we got to do is bring up the tailstock and try to get this thing centered as much as we can. So we're going to put this in here. Now, since I cut this perfectly square, all I've got to do is just try to line that up and see if it rotates pretty close. I'm going to use the tool rest to kind of judge, and it looks like I've got it pretty much squared up, so I think we're good to go. And all I got to do is tighten this up a little bit. So this is normally going to be the opening of the bowl, but in this case, because of the feather, we're going to reverse it. So I'm going to shape the outside of the bowl and put a tenon on it. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, make sure it clears. Okay, I think you got a little better view. We're going to drop the tool rest just a little bit. Make sure we're cutting on center. I'll shape the outside, then we'll come back and finish up that tenon. So that gives me a point of departure where the bottom of the bowl is going to be to start my design shaping. Just a little bit of vibration, I think, as it's hitting that feather, which is end grain, and a fairly significant amount of end grain. Seems to want to set up just a bit of chatter. Okay, well, it's not a real smooth cut, but it's getting close to shaping the outside of the bowl is all I'm concerned with. I'm using a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Okay, I want to give you just a little bit of view of, how I engage this tool on my body doing the turner's dance, where it's up against my hip, and then I shift my legs. just not cutting the way I want. I don't think the wood's that hard, so let me sharpen this. Come back. Okay, let's see if this doesn't cut a little bit better. Absolutely. Just a reminder, you don't sharpen your tools when they get dull, you sharpen them when they can be sharper. I've got this live edge I haven't decided what to do with. I'm not going to be able to preserve the bark and it's not that attractive, so you know, you can see that. I don't know if you can see this or not, but the bark's just literally can peel off in strips. So the bowl's actually going to come down to probably a little smaller than that, so I think I need to go a little bit steeper with the bowl. Okay, I'm simply going to face this off with pull cuts. It's got to be irregular, so we'll see what happens here. Slow cuts since I'm cutting some air. Now we're going to drill a depth hole. Not everybody drills depth holes, it's not necessary. I just find it very convenient. So it's about halfway between those two marks. I'm going to slow the speed down just a little bit. Brace myself. All out the center a little bit at a time. Get the speed up. See what we see in that feather. Not yet, just a little bit. Okay, now I can see it. I don't know if y'all can see it very well. I can see it laying in here. Alright, let's see if we can get a nice smooth cut. I think I'm going to switch to a little smaller gouge. Go real slow. And got a very nice smooth cut. Pleased with that. I think I'm going to leave a little bit of rim here for texturing when it's dry. Let me just take that down just a bit. Of course, depends on how much this thing moves, whether I can bring it square again. Let's just take off that sharp edge on the inside here. Okay. Well, got a little bit of figure. Cuts fairly cleanly. It's just a bit stringy, but I think all in all, I don't think it's it's a bad piece of wood. You just can't get very large pieces. I think when this gets finished and that figure gets some oil on it, it'll really pop. So I'm going to put this away in the bag for a couple of weeks to let it dry, then I'll come back and finish it up. Okay, here are the two bowls after they've been drying a week or so inside a bag without any anchor seal on it. You can see I got a little crack on both ends on the top side where the feather comes through because it acted like a pith when it's drying, and the base of the other one cracked. And I don't normally have this quite this bad of results, certainly on smaller bowls, so that lets me know that Crepe Myrtle probably is prone to cracking, especially along the pith or any area that's got some unusual grain structure. Well, here's about a 2-inch square that I'm going to turn it around and probably put it on a shelf, not make anything of it now. But so far, Crepe Myrtle does not impress me. It is a very white wood, though, and it might be great for Christmas ornaments if I don't have any holly. So the jury's still out, but I guess the key point is, what's a good wood? Free wood. Try something different. Check it out, see what it's like, make up your own mind. If you're not a member, please subscribe. Hope to see y'all back. Stay safe.